the Lime Sports World, I'm Damien Best. Bangladesh A will require 490 runs for victory against the Sagicor West Indies High Performance Centre on the fourth and final day at Kensington Oval tomorrow. Resuming day 3 on 24 without loss, HPC eventually declared on 354 for 5 in their second innings. Jermaine Blackwood led the way with a century.
We pick up the action after lunch with HPC in a healthy position in their second innings. That's Jermaine Blackwood going over long on for 6. He's on to 119. The score 197 for 1. Blackwood was picking the gaps nicely, collecting more runs this time through mid-wicket. Nasser Hussain to Asad Furuddin now. Cheeky little shot, working this one down to fine leg for 4. Furuddin 62 not out. The lead 343. Well, Blackwood was really taking it to the visitors. Down the pitch he goes, couple bounces into the boundary. He's in good nick. Blackwood dominating all bowlers. Manamal Haq put to the sword, goes over cover and into the ropes. HPC 223 for 1. Then Blackwood picked up this one from home and deposited it into the 3W stand with ease. Blackwood, he's just 3 short now of another milestone. 147 to his credit. But it wasn't to be. Blackwood deceived and is stumped by the wicketkeeper for well played 147, bringing an end to a 207 run partnership with Furuddin. Well played indeed. The score now 236 for 2. Well, entered Leon Johnson and he got going with a boundary, dissecting the field and collecting 4. The lead 376 runs. Furuddin meanwhile looking to get to 3 figures as well. Full toss, given the rightful treatment. 4 more through while on. He's up to 74. 247 for 2. Johnson feeling the vibe as well, and he goes big over long on. Bangladesh A can't find an answer. Johnson now 16. Then Furuddin, not to be outdone, says, let me at him. That's the maximum. 6 runs. But Furuddin would pay the price for nibbling at 1 from Mukhtar Ali, and he's on his way for 89. HPC going to tea on 281 for 3.
Well, HPC went on to declare on 354 for 5, with Johnson eventually going for 63. By the close, Bangladesh A in their second innings were 32 for 3. Sheldon Cottrell has so far taken 2 for 14. Well, New Zealand will be going into the first Digicel test against the West Indies in a good disposition after winning their final warm-up game today in Trelawney. The visitors ended a low-scoring affair against a select Jamaica 11 in victory by 123 runs on the final day of the 3-day fixture. Scores there: New Zealand 203 for 9 declared and 132 for 9 declared. Ross Taylor 55 not out. Derval Green 5 for 41. Jamaica select 11 122 for 9 and 90. Paul Palmer 52. Mark Craig 4 for 8. The first test starts Sunday at Sabina Park. Barbados Lumber Company LSC were seemingly a few minutes away from repeating as basketball champions in Barbados. But a late fourth-quarter rally by Smalta Pinelands last night has forced a decisive Game 5 in the Co-Operators General Insurance Premier League Final Series. CBC's Mark Seal was at the Wildy Gym and reports on the seesaw battle that was Game 4.
Pinelands started the game on an 11-0 run, thanks to Charles Vanderpool there with the floater. Then Jeremy Gill got into the party, losing the handle but getting it back. And he nailed the 3, nothing but net. Then Gill was in full control of this player. However, later on he would get into foul trouble. LSC finally broke the drought with an Ormond Haynes jumper. Then they had this 3 from Keith Burkett. Lakers finally showing up. It was, however, a disappointing first quarter. Pine up 19-12, and the second period wasn't much better at all. Pinelands only scoring 8 points after that hot first few minutes, while LSC got 15, 27 all at halftime. The second half, though, was a lot better. Hallie Franklin with the fadeaway J for a team-high 15 points. The Pine plan was to make the LSC bigs try to score. At least Andre Baду proved that strategy wrong. This baseline jumper gave him 11. Remember I told you earlier of Gill's foul trouble? Well, he picked up his 4th in the third quarter, and he would have to take a seat. In his absence, though, Franklin had it going on, backing down Burkett for another fadeaway baseline J. But on defense, without Gill there to pester him, Adrian Allman went berserk, scoring all 12 of his points in the third and the fourth quarters. That was an open lane for reverse, while this one was in traffic. Lakers up by 11, 48-37 after 3. But in the fourth, Pinelands would double up on LSC, 28 points to 14. Burkett would try to keep LSC in the game. This is 2 of his game-high 16. But the pressure, Gill with a steal, resulting in a basket, 2 of his joint team-high 15 points. As the Pine, they would come back to win by 3, 65-62. Game 5, Saturday night at BCC. Mark Seal, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Mark. Time for that Game 5 winner takes all is 7:30 p.m. That's the first half in sports. Back in just a moment. We're back. Well, the middle table and bottom place teams took center stage in the Digicel BFA Premier League at the National Stadium last night. 6th place DirecTV Paradise dismissed 9th place Cosmos, while 8th place Silver Sands needed just 1 goal to defeat bottom of the table Dells Road. CBC's Sean Green reports.
After a goalless first half, both teams had only 45 minutes in which to impress. And that's what Paradise did through Armando Lashley in the 52nd. Meanwhile, their goalie wasn't too phased at the other end. In fact, he had it very easy at times. Lots of time on his hands or on his feet. Then other times, he had a bit of a scare. Here, Cosmos with a chance, but it's wide. The keeper clears it at this end, and the striker misses the header completely and left things wide open for Lashley to put Paradise up 2-0 to give them the victory. And the only goal scored in this game between Silver Sands and Dells Road in the yellow, it came in the second half from the boot of Cameron Lewis in the 71st minute. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
Well, if you're planning on going to Brazil for the FIFA World Cup, you can now purchase your stadium tickets. About 180,000 tickets went on sale early this morning.
FIFA is calling this a last-minute opportunity, but the fact is that tickets both online and at all 12 stadium venues right across Brazil still available for all 64 matches that will take place in South America's largest country later this month. By the way, the very first match of the tournament taking place June the 12th in Sao Paulo when the hosts face Croatia.
Well, in FIFA World Cup warm-up action, CONCACAF side Mexico lost to Bosnia-Herzegovina in a friendly last night.
All right, also unacceptable is Mexico's offense. Javier Chicharito Hernandez, 0 goals in his last 7 international games. Here he goes. Oh, yo, ding-dong. Ding-dong, yo. In the clear. However, Stoink, Chicharito's scoreless international streak continues. They need him in Brazil. 41st minute. Looks like they scored on their own player. Nope. Blue on blue. Izet Hajrovic, goal in the 41st minute. Second international goal in 7 caps. There it is, the beauty. Mexico's 8-game unbeaten streak comes to an end.
Owen Josiah and Elizabeth Ranando were the first man and woman home in the Barbados World Heritage 5K run and walk held recently. Josiah finished in 17 minutes and 23 seconds, while Pierre Stanford came second in 17 minutes 31 seconds, and Owen Josiah was third. For the women, Ranando clocked 21 minutes 16 seconds, with Carly Pipe second in 21 minutes 28 seconds, and third was Zara Gaskin. In the walkers category, Rodney Blackman was first in the men's division, while Charmaine Seal won the women's. The main focus of the race was to garner support for the restoration of the Carnegie Building, which until a few years ago was the home of the public library. Due to a lack of maintenance and funding, the building, which also housed the children's library, was abandoned. Well, more sports coming your way at 8:35 with CBC Sports. Mark Seal will have more pre-World Cup friendlies and a preview to the NBA Finals. But up next, the business report.